Yeah, we haven't talked about it. Lucas, he's not going to be on the roster. He's been battling with his elbow the last few days, and today he went to see Dr. Dugas. So, hopefully it's nothing major, but he won't be ready for this one.
What does that mean for you guys in Game 3?
We'll go the first 2 games, and then we'll decide. Obviously, we got some kids over there that they have started lately, and but first things first, Crochet Bello, and if we have to make a decision for Game 3, we'll go from there.
And just to clarify on Giolito, where is he geographically, did you say?
He's seeing Dr. Dugas.
Seeing Dr. Dugas.
Gotcha, yeah.
He didn't even know. Oh, Alex, say it ain't so, man. He was so matter of fact about all this. No Giolito. I beg your jargon? What do you mean? Welcome into the Salem 5 studios for Boston has entered the chat. Good news, bad news. It's game day. That's good news. Bad news, they'll be without one of their best pitchers, as you heard Alex Cora say there. Travis Thomas, the Kasey Hudson here on Boston has entered the chat. Last day of September 30th. How about that?
I'm so happy about it. I am so happy about it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a New England thing, but I have never wished away September faster.
What?
Like, for the past 5 days, I'm just like October.
You're ready.
I've been
Turn
ready.
the page.
I've been ready. September 13th happened, and then I was like, it's October now.
Well,
So.
hopefully we turn the page with a win in Game 1 over the Yankees. We'll get into that, of course. Plus, yesterday was Celtics Media Day, so we'll hear from the stars later on in the show. But let's start, of course, with the Red Sox and you. 617-790-0928. Call us. Get in here. All hands on deck.
Let's chat.
Playoffs begin today. Game 1. Let's start with no Lucas Giolito, though.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yesterday I'm watching that press conference, and I'm like, what did he just say? It was so matter of fact. He wasn't even asked about it. He just kind of said, like, hey, just so you guys know, Lucas Giolito's out.
And I've got to ask, is this like a male default? When
I don't
you don't
know.
want to say something, the point that randomly comes out, it was like one of those, like, oh, by the way.
Yes.
And then the point happened, and they're like,
I know.
Usually
I would defend us in this situation, but you may be right with this because it was very matter of fact.
Yeah.
And it was like he had to say it, obviously.
Especially yesterday.
I'll say 2 things. Number one, it makes more sense now because we've talked on this show about Lucas Giolito's last 2 or 3 starts.
Yep.
He was getting wins. He was pitching well, but he was laboring.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on the show, like, man, he grinds these out. Now it makes sense. The velo is down. It just makes a lot of sense now. So get healthy. It doesn't. This was no declaration like Giolito's out for the playoffs.
Right.
He's missing Game 3. Okay. So that tells me you have to figure out a way, go to the Bronx, win this series, and then you get your guy back. Because you are not advancing in these playoffs without Lucas Giolito. You know it. I know it. You know it.
Yeah.
So you have to have him. So that was encouraging to see. The other thing is this. If it gets to a Game 3, I'm okay with these kids. I am. Early, all of them. I like all these kids because they'll have to step up in that situation in a Game 3.
Yeah.
And it's all hands on deck. You may see all of them at that point. I'm okay with that in a one-off or a Game 3, but you got to get Giolito back.
Part of the reason why panic's not really setting in for me too much here is because just last week we were having this conversation of like who's really going to be your Game 2 guy, and even though there's been a little bit of like dip here when it comes to Bello, the reality of it is Bello's numbers versus the Yankees, number 1. Number 2, he has to be able to be that guy, which means being put in that position and being trusted entirely. So I think in a way this was always meant to be Game 2 Bello regardless, which just pushes the narrative of how important it would be for this team to solidify 2 wins and kind of walk out of here and breathe for a bit.
Sure.
So like, yeah, it's a bit of a stretch of the imagination because we know the Yankees are going to bring everything they got, but what have we seen this team do so well in that consistency column? Have these gutty, ugly wins sometimes. So this is where that scrap, this is where that gut out opportunity, this is where this team that's not going to let go for anything really shows up. And honestly, you just kind of want to see Bello be able to show up in the postseason. We know mentally where he has matured, but in the bigger, larger sample size, like this is where it matters. And hey, when you have all the cards coming against you, asking you to be your best self, what are you going to do?
Well, this team, what you're speaking to, this team has overcame all kinds of stuff all year long. From underperformances to major trade
and
to
losing
injuries.
guys to injuries. This is not a new narrative for this team.
But to your point, they scrap.
Yes.
And that's what that means.
Yeah.
You know, it's insurmountable odds, but in the face of it, we're still going to rise to the occasion, and that's what they do.
Yep.
So listen, we do have a game one to preview here and get predictions for, but let's stick with the Giolito for a second. We want to hear from you, 617-790-0928. Call us. What did you make of the news once you heard that Giolito would be out for Game 3? What do you think that means moving forward for this team? Let's get to Lou Merloni now, who talked about the impact of not having Lucas Giolito.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, you've rode these three guys now for what seems like all year long. Your starting pitching depth that has been tested, we're beyond that now. I mean, you got a couple kids in early who I think is very impressive, who I think may get this Game 3 start. And then you got Harrison. And that's about it. Dustin May is still trying to make his way back. So I don't think you look forward to the next division series. I think you go to look at this one and say, well, let's ruin it for the Yankees. Let's get out of here, take this series, move on, and then just sort of battle this thing out, whether it's a bullpen game or what. It's just a situation you're in. And this is unfortunately just kind of where you're at with the injury to Giolito, And this is why I say, your depth is tested, right? Because Lucas, the last 4 or 5 outings has been a battle. He has looked like a guy that's sort of dealing with something. The location has been off. He's been good for about 4, and that's kind of what I was counting on him here. This is the playoff baseball. In the 5th inning, you start going to the pen. But you're right, now you just lost innings, and you're going to be stretched out here. And you're going to need some kids, some inexperienced people out of this bullpen to really put up some zeros in a very difficult park.
Okay, Case, Lou helping us out there. We put a bow on this whole Lucas Giolito thing. He said something there that will take me to Game 1. He said, let's just ruin it for the Yankees. Let's win this series and get out of here and figure it out.
Yep.
So let's start there. Game 1 tonight. Garrett Crochet, in my mind, and we've talked about this on the show before, it always comes back to gambling for me. I could never understand why the odds weren't better for him as the season went on to win Cy Young. Because I understand how great Scooble is, but I also saw him start to melt down towards the end of the year, just like his team did with the Tigers.
Yeah.
And Garrett Crochet turned up.
Yes.
So I'm like, for my money, this is the real AL Cy Young. I think he pitches like it tonight. We all know it. You better win Game 1. The stats show you if you win Game 1, you win the series in this wild card round. Boy, I think Crochet is vintage, fantastic ace stuff tonight. And I'm looking for Alex Bregman to enter the chat. I know he's dealing with sickness. I get it. But let's see the heroics, even if you are sick. You've been here, the experiences you mentioned. This is a spot where Alex Bregman can make a clutch, timely hit. I'm not saying he goes out and hits for the cycle tonight, but I'm saying when it matters and all the chips are on the table, you got a couple men on base and you need it, he can deliver. I'll give you a score. Typical Red Sox fashion, low scoring, tough, scrappy. Pitch around or don't pitch at all to Aaron Judge, please. I'll go 4-3, Sox.
All right, I went against you last time. You did 4-3, and it ended up landing perfectly.
Yep.
Runs are coming a bit high behind Crochet, I will say. And then if we're counting on Bregman's experience, and then, I don't know, this guy Nate Lowe, who has played quite well versus the Yankees series totality-wise, I'm going to go 5-3. I'm going to go 5-3. I'm just going to add one more to the mix there because you're talking about Crochet's numbers that are outstanding versus the Yankees and even better on the road. So I know that we have piped on and on and on about Fenway, but he's collected majority of his wins on the road, a lot of those strikeouts on the road, and has been able to perform. And I think that he's just one of those guys. Maybe I'm putting my own business on him, an adrenaline junkie for when his back is against the wall and when all the cards are laying against this team. And when this news came out with Giolito, of course, there was a number of people that came out in full despair, angst, and, just very much stressed out as to what could be. Crochet thrives on all of that. He is a bloodhound when question marks come into play, what this Red Sox team can do. So I like him. I like the accountability for Bregman. But even though Bregman's more of that mental leader, he helps these guys get back and stay focused into matchups. So I really like him being a factor in the sense of leadership, but also posting some good numbers. But I think the ability is there. Just depends on what the lineup looks like.
I'm going to go Captain Obvious here for a second. I've said this about this Yankees team all year. They are not as good as the team that went to the World Series last year, but I thought that team not only was better, they were mentally tough. This team is not. I don't think they're as good, and they're not as mentally tough.
Well, and let's circle back to Judge for a second.
Yeah.
Postseason numbers,
Not
they
great.
dip. His
Yeah,
batting
they're not
average
great.
sits at a 320 to 325
That's
through the
right.
regular season, dips to about a 250. So
Sure.
you're looking at a guy who can't be their pillar in the postseason.
Well, he should be. He
Right.
hasn't performed to it, but I'm not giving him the chance to. I'm pitching away from his arse. That's me personally. But I will say this. I bring up their mental softness because if the Sox can get up early in this game, Kasey,
Yeah.
take that crowd out of it, start getting a little bit of doubt in these Yankees, crochet with a lead, forget about it.
Yeah.
Your lights are out. That's what that means. I like the Sox in game 1, and then we are sweating game 2 and 3. But we've sweat all year. What difference does it make? This is what this team does. Game 1, handle your business. 617-790-0928. Get in here. We need predictions. I'm going 4-3. She's going 5-3. We're both on Sox game 1, kid. What say you? 617-790-0928. When we come back, what's trending in the world of sports? Right here on Boston has entered the chat. When they go high, we go low. Time now for what's trending in the world of sports.
I love the Catalina entry.
How about that?
Honestly.
Let's start with the Ice Queen herself, Kasey Hudson. David Pastrnak makes his preseason debut last night, Case, and I remember people were going crazy. Me. Oh, Pasta
really
has
losing it a little?
knee tendonitis. He's not playing. He's not practicing. This is terrible. This is going to carry over into the season. And you go, oh, just relax. He'll be fine. Well, he played last night. He looked just fine to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there's much to worry about. Obviously, a lot of fans are striking some concern with how things ended, but last night's preseason game, preseason 4, that is, went into a shootout. So, I mean, the relentless effort and the energy to keep fighting to stay in that game, that's something to keep in mind. That's part of what's supposed to be the identity of this team. But it was good to see Pasta back in the mix. I mean, he's one of those faces that brings courage and encouragement to how this team continues to find their way.
I know you're not a doctor. You just play one on Boston is into the chat. But when you
All the
saw
time.
him skate, did he look normal? Did he look like Pasta? He looked explosive. There's nothing to see here, right?
Yeah, I think
All right.
everything's fine. I mean, he mentioned that he played through this all last season.
Yeah.
And granted, look at the numbers that he put up. Still one of the best players in the NHL in totality. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that there's much to worry about when it comes to Pasta, and he's going to want to be there for this team no matter what. It's very hard to get these guys off the ice, period.
Yeah, listen, you and I have talked about this. I will do whatever it takes with Pasta, like kid gloves if need be, to keep him healthy throughout the season. Because from an offensive standpoint, this team is Pasta dependent. Is that fair to say? From an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, granted, look at one of the goals that picks up last night. You just see that flair that only David Pastrnak tends to have to make sure that this team can get on the board. So, I mean, he's a pillar for a reason, and he's one of the best for a reason. So, like I said, it still looks like David Pastrnak to me. We still see a lot of that electric level to his play, and very much a leader on this roster.
All right, hey, if you want to talk bees with us, 617-790-0928. I know we're going all crazy because we have a Red Sox playoff game tonight, and we should go crazy for it, but you can always call us and talk anything you want. 617-790-0928. Speaking of the Sox, did you see?
No. Speaking of crazy.
Yeah, well.
This is senseless, what we're about to tell you next.
You know, first segment of the show, I mentioned how I think the Yankees are soft. Well, our guy Gordo, who joins us later on in this very program, tweeted this out yesterday. They're scared of us. Can you read that fine print right there? It says Yankee Stadium, located in the Bronx. Sales to this event will be restricted to residents. What? Of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. Period. Oh, okay. So if I live in Mass or anywhere in the great New England region, I can't even get tickets, bruh. That's what you're trying to tell me?
What's ridiculous is like the other team, the team the Yankees are playing.
Right.
You have no wiggle room, no openings, no opportunities for them to go up and support their team. And, like, let's take this one notch further as to how disrespectful this is. First time that the Red Sox have seen the playoffs or the postseason in 4 years. You're that threatened by the Red Sox and their fans that after 4 years of just wanting to see their team play October baseball, they're not even able to buy tickets? I didn't think ridiculous could hit this kind of level. I will tell you this, though. I got some really interesting fan responses. For one, let's go. If you guys need any help kind of navigating this BS that you have to deal with. Someone said, hey, it doesn't take that long to change your building zip code. Just find an address in one of those residencies, change your zip code through your banking really fast, purchase your tickets, and then swap back. Somebody else said it's really easy to buy resale tickets. They're not looking at your zip code.
Yankees.
I haven't fact-checked this, but if anybody needs help making sure that you can go watch your favorite team in the postseason, there you go.
You shouldn't even have to jump through all them damn hoops to get that. I mean, Yankees fans, what's up with y'all? I thought y'all supposed to be so tough. You ain't a crook, son. You a shook one. You scared of Red Sox fans coming to your stadium? We ain't scared of y'all coming to Fenway. What's the problem? I've seen Yankees fans in Fenway. I was on the radio one day on WEEI talking real reckless. And a Yankees fan was right outside of the studio there at Fenway, just looking at me like this. But he could hear my broadcast, right? And I said, I see you looking at me. Ain't nobody scared of you. I ain't shook of y'all, but y'all shook of us. That tells me everything I need to know. I already suspected this team is soft, Case. I'm telling you.
It should
mentally
be bad
soft.
karma for the Yankees to even pull a stunt like this. And therefore, I would really, really love to see a sweep and respond.
I'll repeat it. Don't let Garrett Crochet be out there throwing gas and get some run support early. Watch this fan base and this team shrink and shrivel. You know, like the Homer Simpson when he goes into the bushes?
Yes.
That's what they're going to do. You watch, I'm telling you. All right, more Red Sox news. Alex Bregman has been, quote, under the weather and traveling alone for this game. Hey, look, you know what this is a setup for? Here's a tweet here from Bradfo. Here's what this sets up for. This is heroics, game one heroics. He's under the weather, not feeling well, and guess what's going to happen? All the chips on the table in this game, he's going to do something clutch.
Oh, I'll do you one better. The other layer of tweets that were coming out to this news yesterday was apparently Bregman is really sharp whenever he bounces back from any sort of like flu. So they said flu game incoming.
That's it.
And they put out all of the alerts and raised the warning flag. So
that's it.
I'm very excited about this. If nothing else, this team just needs to respond to the BS that the Bronx decided to unload 24 hours
That
ago.
really bothered you.
It bothered me so bad. I can't even express how offended I was. I'm not going to New York. I'll be right here in Nesson Studios. But I was so mad for everyone in New England because I'm like, how sad of a human are you?
It's not going to stop, though. I mean, look,
you're
Red
going to
Sox
rezone
fans,
purchasing tickets to do what?
It's also, too, some of this is like, isn't that above you? Like, at some point, right? Aren't you the mighty Yankees? All the championships.
This just tells you how much they don't believe in their own new Dusty Stadium.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only reason somebody
That's
does
what it is.
that. Yeah, there's no faith in the Bronx.
Yeah, like this feels like something the Reds would do. You know what I mean? No disrespect.
I was gonna
but
say
the
I don't
Rays,
want to jump on disrespecting a bunch of teams, but
this isn't a Yankee thing. The Red Sox wouldn't do this. This is like below them.
No, because there is faith in Fenway. There is no faith in that new structure, so let them have it.
617-790-0928. Listen, I just want to go ahead and open this up. This is a safe place. If you want to call us and make fun of the Yankees, come on in. I mean, now's the time to do it anyways, you know? Come on in, 617-790-0928. When we come back, how about our guy Nat Gordon of the Play Tessie Podcast joins us to break down game one and this series against New York. So you're telling me there's a chance, Gordo? Find out next, right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Roll with us. Red Sox, Yankees, the boogie down Bronx, baby. Game one. And it starts tonight as we welcome you back inside our Salem 5 studios. Travis Thomas, the Kasey Hudson, and then Nat Gordon of the Play Tessie Podcast joins us. How you doing, my friend? Good to have you in studio with us.
What a day.
Yeah.
What a day. Let's have a day today.
Let's have a day.
Let's have a day.
Let's have a day.
It's a big day.
All right, so look, good news, bad news. Good news, game one tonight. We're turned up for it. We'll talk about it. Let's start with the bad news. Lucas Giolito. Dude, yesterday, Alex Cora, so matter-of-factly. Hey, by the way, Giolito's out for game three, elbow issues. What?
Just so casually. Yeah.
What the heck?
Forgot to mention, it was one of those vibes. Hey, just forgot to mention.
Yeah, like, what's your reaction when you saw that yesterday? I saw you were all over it in terms of Twitter. I think you broke the news to me, quite frankly. What the heck,
You broke
man?
a lot of news yesterday,
Yeah,
actually.
he's always on point.
Yeah. I mean, it's a gut punch. There's really no way around it. I mean, you've gone this season on your three big arms, Crochet, Bayo, Giolito. When the Red Sox have been at their best, it's when those three guys are giving you quality starts. They're giving you innings. They're resting your bullpen. They're keeping you on top. And now you're going to have to find a way to win the most important games of the season with really two known commodities here in the starting rotation. Obviously, you've got Connolly Early and Kyle Harrison who have shown flashes, but that's what it is here right now is flashes, and you're sort of taking shots in the dark in those games started by those guys, but you got to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
So it really starts with these first two games.
Yeah, you mentioned the big three, and that's basically the coattails we've been writing all season long, establishing trust behind these guys. But it has been talked about, it has been solidified that Bello is your hands down two, and these guys just need to take 2 wins, hopefully off the top here. Where does your confidence lie in that? Because Bello's been receiving some criticism as of late. We talked about it last week, actually. Like, can you trust this to be game 2 scenario for Bello? So where's your confidence shake?
Yeah, I mean, obviously full confidence in Garrett Crochet. That dude's been your horse start to finish, right?
Yes.
Like, not even a hiccup. First time throwing this many innings in his life, and you wouldn't know it. With Bello, I mean, obviously he was terrific the whole season, but September it was a 5.4 ERA. You know, obviously hasn't been his best, but that said, a lot of that was on short rest, on 4 days rest. Now he's got the full 5-day rest. Hopefully that makes a little bit of a difference. He's had the Yankees number. I mean, it was back-to-back 7 shutout innings before his last start against them, which was not his best. I think it was 5 innings, 4 earned. But, I mean, you got to put your faith in him. That's what you have to do as a Red Sox fan. It's what the organization has to do. He's gotten you to this point, and he's going to be the guy, if the Red Sox are going to move on, that you need to get a really good start out of.
Yeah, he's got to overcome adversity, too. I mean, that's part of this. He hasn't been pitching well lately. Game 2 for Bello is going to be huge. You have to figure out a way to win that. Okay, I want to play a little fill in the blank with you.
Ooh.
Sox win this series if. Sox lose this series if. You can start wherever you want.
Well, Sox win this series if Crochet gives you a great start in Game 1.
So you have to win Game 1.
That's where I start this series. The Red Sox will live and die in this series with the outcome of Game 1. It's their true and this could be the answer to Sox lose the series if too, because if the Red Sox lose Game 1, yeah, they're going to lose the series as well.
Yeah.
Because okay, let me start here. The Red Sox need to take Game 1 to take the series. The Yankees don't need Game 1. The Yankees can win the series with losing Game 1. The Red Sox cannot win the series if they lose Game 1.
I think that lands with me. In fact, I'll go deeper in Game 1. I said this to start the show. I think early on we'll know if the Sox are going to win this game or not. I think we all feel as though Crochet's going to do his thing. But this Yankees team feels mentally not as strong as last year's team. They're not as good as last year's team either, period, across the board, okay?
No Juan Soto.
Right. So here's where I'm at with this. I think if the Sox can come out, get some run support early for Crochet, he gets the lead, I think you can take the Yankees' heart in Game 1. That's the formula, I think, to win Game 1.
Yeah.
To that, you say what?
No, I mean, if Garrett Crochet exits the game with a lead, which I expect him to, because
Me too.
Garrett Crochet has dominated all year, and he's dominated the Yankees all year long. I mean, the Red Sox are 4-0 against the Yankees this year in games started by Garrett Crochet.
Right.
I don't expect that to change. So even though, yes, like you might think in theory the Yankees have the advantage in a series that the Red Sox have to take Game 1 to win, I think the Red Sox are going to take Game 1.
So gosh. I just...
There's a lot of exhaling going on.
Yeah, because,
it's
listen,
scary.
He's not wrong, though. If
they
lose Game 1, you have all your eggs in Brian Bello's basket at that point. And then, oh, by the way, if he pitches well and you win, then there's a question mark in Game 3. Game 1 is so pivotal for this team.
All right. Well, let's stick with Game 1 for a minute, and let's stick with some of the other statistics or themes that tend to ride along Garrett Crochet. That's the fact that he's got run support versus the Yankees specifically when he is going against this team. It's been a high-scoring affair, except for one matchup on June 13th where it was 2-1. So we know the batting lineup has taken a bit of a hit with the injuries, and they're still kind of trying to figure out what really works for them. Where does your confidence lie with the batting lineup?
Well, it's going to be tough. They are 26th in baseball against left-handed pitching since the All-Star break, and it comes as no surprise, obviously, with Roman Anthony down. He's a left-handed hitter, but he hits both sides of both lefties and righties.
Right.
It's going to be an ugly-looking lineup, to put it bluntly. I mean, the lineups against lefties that they've put out there, they've had Nate Eaton in those lineups. They've had Nick Sogard in those lineups. Obviously, you're going to have Ref Snyder, Romy Gonzalez, who have been great against lefties all year long in the lineup, and it's going to probably take benching some of your better players. Like Masataka Yoshida might start this game on the bench. Wilyer Abreu might start this game on the bench. And Nathaniel Lowe might start this game on the bench. And it's going to be crazy to look at. But facing two of the premier lefties in the sport, that's how they've approached it. That's how they approached it last series. And I think that's how they're going to approach it this series. So, you're going to be relying on some guys without any playoff experience beyond just those guys, too. Even the better players on this team don't have playoff experience. So you're going to be relying on guys who maybe it benefits them. Maybe they're running around not knowing what they're doing and they just, fall into a series win here.
Just play.
And maybe follow Alex Bregman's lead. It's like, come follow my lead here. I'm Alex Bregman. This is my 100th playoff game. Let's go.
Yeah. Listen, it sounds like the pitching matchup is really going to be the key in this game, obviously, with two absolute just the pitching matchup. Look at the numbers between these two guys. Kasey predicted 5-3. I predicted 4-3 Sox. The money is on the under in Vegas, 7.5 the total in this. So everyone's thinking low scoring. As you look at these two going head-to-head, Gordo, break down this matchup for me between these two guys.
Well, it's a great matchup storyline-wise, too, because these were two of the guys. These two guys were acquired by these teams in the offseason within days of each other. Obviously, the Red Sox made their push for Max Fried.
That's right.
And when they missed out on Max Fried, they went after Garrett Crochet. Maybe they were going after both. I don't know. But the Red Sox get Garrett Crochet, their horse. The Yankees get Max Fried, their horse.
Yeah.
And these are two of the premier left-handed pitchers in the sport. And they're going to go toe-to-toe here in a huge Game 1. And, yeah, you said, what, the over-under is 7.5 today? I'm taking way under. I'm going to take 2-1 Sox tonight.
Oh, my God, bro. You're going that under?
I'm going that under. I really think it's going to be that much of a nail-biter.
Oh my God. Well, now I need Alex Bregman to come through in the clutch. I predicted, I said, look, I know he's sick and all that, but you said all this postseason experience this guy has. What I'm expecting from him, I don't think he's going to hit for the cycle here, but I am expecting late in the game, chips on the table, couple guys on base, he comes through for you. What are your expectations for him in terms of, if you're picking 2-1, someone's got to score those runs. Who's it going to be for the Sox? Is it Bregman or otherwise?
It really could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I hope it's Alex Bregman because that would give this team the confidence it needs. Seeing that guy come through in the playoffs, it's like, okay, we're going to be okay because we have that guy. But they've got guys in the lineup that have come through in big spots all year. Like we saw Nick Sogard come through with a walk-off. Like we've seen Nate Eaton even come up with big hits. Rob Refsnyder has some enormous hits for this team this year, as does Romy Gonzalez.
Sure.
You could see Masa Yoshida's been the hottest hitter on the team. Pinch hit spot late in the game. Maybe he comes in against Devin Williams late. I don't know. But the Red Sox are going to have to come through in these spots without striking out. Put the bat on the ball late in the game. Make the Yankees field their positions. That's how the Dodgers said you had to beat them last year. It's the same thing this year. That's
Sounds
how you're
like
going to have to beat them.
small ball, Gordo. Imagine that concept.
I would say, well, you talked about the mental of it. You're predicting low scoring.
Yep.
Aaron Boone referred to Alex Cora and company as the little engine that could, but I like to look more of it as this team that you can't count out because of how scrappy they are. And they're going to fight to their dying breath. Is that something that could give them an advantage now that they're going into this matchup, being discounted? Now with the Giolito news, it just seems like there's cards stacking against them, but we've seen them respond in the best possible way majority of the time.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the roster comparisons. I mean, the Yankees, they have the better roster in the series of healthy players. But they don't have it's this indescribable it factor that this Red Sox team has had all year long. Right when you want to count them out, when they trade their best player, they, for whatever reason, and maybe it has something to do with the leadership in place, having one of the best managers in baseball and Alex Cora at the helm. And you'll see him at his best in the postseason, as we've seen in the past.
Right.
But this team, when you want to count them out, when you think they're going away, when you think they're going to fade out of the playoff picture, they push right further in than you thought they could get. And, hopefully we see that here. Alex Cora is going to manage these games super, super aggressively, kind of like you saw on Friday when he yanked Kyle Harrison in the fourth inning and bullpenned it the rest of the way, and it was a masterclass, and it won them a game. Like, they literally won that game because of how he managed it. You'll hopefully see that in this series.
Gordo, I think they're at their best when they do that. When he manages aggressive, when this team is aggressive at the plate and not just swinging for the fences and actually just going for contact and trying to get on base and manufacture runs, I actually think that's when the Red Sox are at their best because they are a scrappy team. That lends itself, managing that way, hitting that way, lends itself to a scrappy type of formula. And I think that's when they're at their best. Let me ask you this question, because I'm looking around again at this AL, and I ask everyone the same question of who in the hell do you trust? Outside of Seattle, which is one team that I do, here are the matchups. Detroit and Guardians. We know Sox and Yankees. Winner of the Guardians and Detroit goes to Seattle. Winner of this series goes to Toronto. AL, big picture, who do you trust out of all these teams?
Well, it's got to be Seattle. They're the most well-rounded team on paper. They've been, I mean, save for the Guardians. Because the Guardians, I don't know what's up with them. I don't know what kind of tomfoolery is going on out there in Cleveland. Like, they just don't lose, and their roster says they should lose games, and they just don't, and we just have to accept that they're going to win games. But the Mariners have been doing kind of the same thing, and people haven't been talking about it as much because maybe they had that division sort of wrapped as the last week of the season was approaching. You know, you sort of expect them to win games because, yeah, they've got one of the best starting rotations in the league. They've got a really good back of the bullpen, and they've got a really well-rounded lineup. So, yeah, if you want to talk about trust, I trust the Mariners, and I'm willing to just wait and see what the Guardians do. But the thing is, that's going to solve itself early because if the Guardians get through the Tigers, now you've got them going head-to-head, and one of them's going to go.
Hopefully it goes a distance, and they're weak as hell after the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays in the next round. See how I did that?
There you go.
Forecasting. I like it. You're forecasting.
That series goes 5.
Yeah.
While we're sticking with the forecasting theme for a second, I did want to ask you any predictions for Game 3. If it's, early's game, if you trust the young arms that are going to have to be relied on into that mix, and just kind of, I don't know, can you breathe knowing that we've seen some good things, but this team is going to be contingent upon this young talent, sooner rather than later, if we haven't already done so.
You may see all of them. In a Game 3 scenario, could you not? You could see early Harrison, Tolley, you could see all of them.
Yeah. I'll give you a weird prediction for Game 3. Just because Connolly Early, assuming he's the dude that's going to pitch in that game, he's going to be on 4 days rest for, I believe, just the second time all season for him. And he did it against the Rays, and they pulled him a little bit early, clearly because of concerns with his pitch count. My prediction here for Game 3 is even if he's the bolt guy, I don't think he starts the game. I bet they start it with a righty, maybe Greg Weissert, get through Aaron Judge, and then go to the lefty.
Like a bullpen game.
Yeah. It's like an inning from Weissert, then hopefully you get 4 or 5 from early, and then you're in a spot, hopefully, where you're winning, where you can go to your big guns, Slayton, Whitlock, Chapman, and finish it. Obviously, that's a perfect world. Let's be honest with ourselves.
That would be so stressful, bro.
It's probably going to be more of a bullpen game because the second he shows even a slight bit of tire, they're going.
Yeah.
It's all in.
All right.
I appreciate the take, though, because, immediately when the news came out, it was like, it's early's Game 3 more than likely, but you have to be a strategist in this match.
I don't hate his game plan. It's just stressful. But but look,
it's been stressful.
Exactly.
It's not what you want in a must-win. You want a starter that you can count on.
And here's the reality. If you get to 3 with the Yankees, it's going to be stressful regardless, right?
Yeah.
Let's go there, prediction-wise. I'm taking Sox in 3. I feel like you're thinking Sox in 2. Am I wrong about this? Are you seeing some heroic Brian Breo?
Are you trying to wish that upon him?
Well, I don't know. I'm feeling him out here. What's your official prediction for the series?
It's just so tough. Call it fence riding, but I really do think it's the flip of a coin in a 3-game series, because you think back. Think how the regular season goes, right? Like, you'll see the Red Sox win all these series, and then the Pirates come to town and they beat the Red Sox in a series. Anything can happen when it's only 3 games, in the same way that anything can happen when it's 1 game. So it really is the flip of a coin. On Play Tessie,
Where'd you go?
I did pick the Yankees in 3 on
You
Play
did?
Tessie. I did. But it's really...
Why?
Because on paper, just looking at the roster, and it's what I said earlier, if the Red Sox win Game 1, they can win the series. If they don't win Game 1, I don't see how they do it. And so that automatically right there puts the Yankees in the driver's seat. Now, that doesn't mean the Red Sox can't win the series. Again, it's a coin flip here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a lot of it hinges on what happens tonight in Game 1.
It does. Look, not to be like the guy that if you lose, it's like a moral victory. But the reality of this season, all the injuries, Casey and I talked about this earlier, injuries, trades, all kinds of drama. This team couldn't get out of their own way for the first half of the year. It felt like right before the All-Star break, they figured it out. Like, hey, you made the postseason. So if you go out, what we hate is losing to that team.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're losing to the Tigers here, there's no shame in it. If you lose to the Yankees, we're all ticked off. But if you do go out, if you bow out here, look at all you've gained from this season, the adversity you overcame, and your young nucleus get some playoff experience here. Gordo, the championship window is wide open after this, right?
Oh, 100%. And yeah, we'll look back on this season as the year that they traded Rafael Devers and made the playoffs, and then did whatever they did when they got there. But even if they go out in 2 games here, obviously, yes, we will be distraught that they lost to the Yankees. Like it's an emotional viewership experience.
Yes.
But that said, you'll look back at it a month from now and say, oh my God, they traded Rafael Devers and then they made the playoffs on the back of Roman Anthony until September.
Right.
Becoming one of the best players in baseball, and that guy's locked up for 9 more years.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not a moral victory, but it's like, hey.
It's a successful season.
It feels like a win-win either way to me.
Yeah.
It's just the Yankees.
No, yeah, you
know what I mean? And you see what they're doing with the tickets? How dare you? That's a soft team, Gordo. I'm telling you.
I need them to win even more to respond to all of that.
I know. All right, 4-3 game 1, 5-3 game 1.
I'm feeling weird about the 5-3 now, but I gotta go.
Well, how can we not? How can we not feel weird? He's picking 2-1. It's a rock fight here. 2-1, right?
Yeah.
I'm going 2-1 Sox in game 1.
All right, there it is. What are your predictions? Call us 617-790-0928. Remember this, on Nesson, we have pre- and post-game shows throughout the postseason. Roll with us. Here's the schedule here. I mean, let's just face the facts here. We have all the business here on Nesson. Anything Sox you need, we got it. There's the proof for you right there. Thanks to Gordo for joining us when we come back. Yesterday was Celtics Media Day. We'll hear from the Stars next, right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat.
We saw the video that he put out, and I don't know about you guys, but my jaw dropped. I'm like, really? Like 4 months and a week and change after he had surgery? Has he been dropping your jaw as you've watched him progress through all of this throughout the summer?
I don't know. The reason I say I don't know, I've been just he's been great with his rehab. He's been great with his consistency. He's worked his ass off. He's been in market the whole time. And that makes such a difference, right? He's not traveling all over the place. He just put his head down and went to work. I think there was a lot of emotions early on, and then it became a goal, and then it became a mission, and that's what he really focused on. Like the video, to me, I understand the way it would look to all of you, but I've watched every step. He kicked me off my treadmill like 3 weeks ago, and I was just like,
Dude,
this
I have
is
2 more minutes.
This is mine, so you can have all the rest of the stuff in here, but this is the one that I use. But when Jayson Tatum needed to use the treadmill, I had to get off and try the elliptical. So it was a bad.
It's like a parking spot. You need
it's like, would you get on the court so I can get my treadmill back?
There you go. That was the voice of Brad Stevens saying what we all know, that Jayson Tatum is healing with superhuman powers. Like, what is he, an X-Men? Like, what's going on here, Case?
The tendons resealed themselves, actually. He didn't go get surgery.
Yeah, Jayson Tatum, a.k.a. Wolverine, apparently. So, listen, let's get into this combo here. Look, take it on me, as always. I'm Debbie Downer here. Wah, wah. I don't want to see Jayson Tatum this season. I am impressed with how fast you're healing.
Right.
I love that you kicked Brad Stevens off of a treadmill, and I've seen videos of you hooping already. It's great. I saw him at I remember telling you at the joint practice with the Patriots and Commanders.
Yeah.
Tatum was there, and the first thing I said was, he wasn't even limping. He looked great.
No, he was striding.
It's all awesome.
Yeah.
However, this team this season is going to be fighting for a playoff berth in the Eastern Conference, more than likely, okay, without him. I don't need him rushing back to prove that he is superhuman and to help this team get in the postseason, and he's not going to be 100%, and then he either gets hurt again or they flame out in the first round. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Take the year. I almost wish the Celtics would do the opposite of what they're doing. Hearing Brad Stevens do that and talk about that, and I've heard Joe Mazzulla say similar things, it's like they're leaning into it. They're like, he's healing so fast, he may be back.
Yeah.
I want them to do the opposite. I want them to put a pause on all this and say, hey, we love that Jayson's fighting hard to come back early. We love that he's healing with Wolverine qualities. But he's not playing this season, period. And they're not going to do that. And I just think it's a mistake, Kasey.
Well, you're asking for a lot. And I'm not saying that in a sense of like, I'm not on the same page as you. On Hold My Banner, where we get to kick it with Ante, we have talked about the potential and possibility of Jayson Tatum being in the lineup eventually and what we would want to see from that. I was on team don't rush him back. But hearing Brad Stevens there and then also listening to some of his off-season press conferences where he said they're still trying to win. When he said that, there was still this window to make certain moves to bring in another high-caliber player potentially so that you had Jaylen Brown, who's supposed to be the leader of your team, and then somebody else secondary to make sure that this team has a fighting chance. When that large move didn't happen, and I know that they were kind of financially crippled in a number of ways, when that big move didn't happen, when we didn't see them, I don't know, trade Anthony Simons, I almost want to change his name. When those things didn't happen, and then you're still talking about a GM talking about we want to win, we're not out of the game here, what's the next thing to rely on? The return of your star player, the return of the face of your franchise. So am I surprised? No. But am I with you on don't rush him back? You got to think big picture here, but none of the moves they have made, none of the sound bites that we have gotten proves that they are looking big picture.
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point. I guess they could argue, just to play devil's advocate, because we do agree here.
Right.
They could argue it is big picture to bring him back this year if we're going to get in the postseason and make a run at another title. I just don't believe.
Make a run,
yes.
though.
Well, that's what they believe is what I'm saying. It sounds like you and I don't think that this is a title team.
Right.
And I don't believe a Jayson Tatum coming back from injury, because again, I'm not a doctor. I just pretend to be one here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. As fast as he's healing, as encouraging as it is to see what he's doing, I can't believe that this guy's going to come back and be 100%. I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah.
I guess if the doctors, from a Celtic standpoint, if the doctors clear it and he is 100% in theory, and you're in, I'm just throwing this number out there, Case, for the sake of convo.
Right.
The 6th seed at that time in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics' way of thinking is, we need our guy back, and we're going to go try to win a title. I just think with all the pieces you lost because of the second apron, I don't believe this is a title team. And why rush Jayson Tatum to come back this year for a damn 6th seed? It doesn't make sense.
I'm going to try to mirror devil's advocate on why rush. Could it be one of those things, because when the injury first happened, as devastating as it was, and automatically we're all like, oh, that's the next season, it's gone. Then follow-up to that was look at these players that made quicker returns. Look at where science has gone. Look at where medical has gone. Look at how fast
from the
players
beginning we were
back.
saying that.
Exactly, because we wanted to be more hopeful.
Yes.
So in a sense,
now
we're talking out of two sides of our face here, because we're like, hey, science has brought us this far. He can return and be just fine and be impactful, and we don't have to worry about the woes of him putting himself out down the road.
Yeah.
But we don't want to take that risk.
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
At that time when we were saying that, because you're right, because I remember saying that too. He could get back soon, blah, blah, blah.
Science.
You still had Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
You still had Al Horford. You still had Porzingis. You see what I'm going?
I see.
This isn't the same team. Now you have Luka Garza.
So his workload wouldn't be able to be managed in a sense to where you can protect the return of Jayson Tatum.
You're not going far enough.
Yeah.
This ain't a championship team. Period.
Gotcha.
Rest his butt. Be 120% by next season. Have a great off season. Go get another ring.
Bottom line, steal all the treadmills you want, stay off the court. Got it. Got it.
That's what you took from this?
Is it not? Did I misread that?
617-790-0928. Call us. We keep partying on Nesson Nation. Come with us, would you? And remember, Boston Has Entered the Chat right here on Nesson, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. on Nesson Nation. So the party don't stop here. Join us on Nesson Nation. We'll see you there. Deuces! Get off the treadmill, Jayson!